Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Banis Clemens?
Here.
Mrs. Cullen?
Here.
Mrs. Dolan? Ms. Kildare?
Here.
Mr. Kraus?
Here.
Mr. Rice?
Here.
Ms. Thompson?
Here.
Mrs. Walters?
Here.
Dr. Yarno?
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to call for nominations for temporary president to preside over the reorganization of the school board.
Hello. I'd like to nominate Joan Cullen for temporary president.
I'll second.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations for temporary president? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to make a motion for nominations to be closed. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Mrs. Cullen?
Okay, now this is the reorganization meeting where we elect our president for the upcoming year. The president serves for a term of 1 year, and I will now open the floor for nominations for a president to serve the 1-year term.
I would like to nominate Mrs. Banis Clemens. I'll second.
Accept the nomination? Yes. Okay. Are there any other nominations for the president to serve 1 year? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the nominations. We'll make a motion to close the nominations. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. And since we have only one candidate, then can we do affirmation?
I would prefer that we record this as a roll call vote.
Okay.
Mrs. Banis Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. Cullen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dolan? Ms. Kildare?
Yes.
Mr. Kraus?
Yes.
Mr. Rice?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Okay. Having been elected, Ms. Banis Clemens and Ms. Cullen as discharging her duties as temporary president, Ms. Banis Clemens can now take over to open nominations for vice president.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to call for nominations for vice president to serve for a term of 1 year.
I'd like to nominate Bill Kraus as vice president. I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to close nominations. Okay, please call the roll.
Mrs. Banis Clemens?
Yes?
Mrs. Cullen?
Yes.
Ms. Kildare?
Yes.
Mr. Kraus?
Yes.
Mr. Rice?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to thank my fellow board members. This has really been a great time on the board, and you each bring unique perspectives and skill sets to this board, and I feel like it makes our discussions and our decisions that much stronger. And I just can't tell you how much working with all of you is, how much that means. You guys just are all great people here to support the kids and make things the best you can and the best the district can be. And, you know, I just wanted to, you know, it's the people who really make this a lot of fun and rewarding with all of the things that we can accomplish for the kids. So thank you for that. And I'm going to adjourn this meeting. And I'll call the regular board meeting to order. Since we just did the Pledge of Allegiance, I think we can, I don't think we need to do that a second time. So we'll move on to the roll call.
Mrs. Banis Clemens,
Here.
Mrs. Cullen,
Here.
Mrs. Dolan, Ms. Kildare,
Here.
Mr. Kraus,
Here.
Mr. Rice,
Here.
Ms. Thompson,
Here.
Mrs. Walters,
Here.
Dr. Yarnell.
I just want to inform the group that Dr. Yanel has texted me, and he is running late, so I do expect him to join us while the meeting's in progress. Thank you.
Student recognition.
Well, good evening, and welcome, everyone. I feel like I say this every month, but I have wonderful news again to share about both our students and staff, but I'll start with our student end. I have information tonight to share both about academics as well as athletics, and I hope that it makes you as Penridge proud as the rest of us in the audience. First, I have some great academic success to share with you. For a high school student, perhaps the greatest academic achievement and award that a high school student can earn is being recognized as a National Merit Scholar. I'm thrilled to announce that Penridge High School has 4 students who are named Commended National Merit Students. These 3 young men and 1 young woman have placed in the top 3%. Again, that's the top 3% of more than 1.6 million students who took the exam nationwide. This is based on their junior year 2017 preliminary scholastics aptitude test, better known as the PSATs. And so I want to call the students up front, and I want us to all join and congratulate them for the wonderful honor that they've had. So if you would please stand and come to the front of the stage. When I call your name, I would appreciate it. First, Nicholas Eisler. Well, that was anticlimactic. Second, Thomas Guyton. Alana Lee. And David Scavuzzo.
Nick, I think might be his track. If you want to come down, go away here. Tom, could you come down a little bit? This way, we want to make a line going across the line. There you go. Alana, come on down. There you go. Perfect. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Right, don't move, there's still some hair.
There's still more.
Right, come forward if you need to. I don't get any better. Stay here, one more second. What do you use this? I do want to congratulate the three of you for your hard work and your dedication, and we really do look forward to the successes as you take your next steps. But I want to also ask for the parents and other family members and friends of these 4 students to be here to stand and please be thanked, because we know that this type of accomplishment takes tremendous support. So if you're here to support one of these students, if you would please stand, to be appreciated. Thank you. Next, I have 2 pieces of news to share that combine both academics and athletic. We have multiple students who were recognized for their accomplishments both in the classroom and on our sports teams. First, one of the things I learned is that each season there is one scholar athlete recognized from each sport for their in-classroom and on-field or court performance. A photo and listing of all of those 14 students from the 14 fall sports were selected and can be found on our website. But a spoiler alert, both Alana Lee for tennis and Tom Geiger for cross country are already on the list. So 2 of the 14 are here. So congratulations, Alana and Tom, and thank you for your We also recently had 19 students who were representing 9 different sports who signed their national letters of intent to continue their academic and athletic pursuits at 16 different Division I colleges and universities. The colleges and universities were both local and national and included the University of Pennsylvania, Temple University, Bloomsburg, where my parents met, fell in love, and got married, St. Joseph's, Westchester, Dickinson College, the University of Florida, the University of Miami, and the United States Naval Academy. This honor recognizes both the academic preparation that these students have received at Penridge, as well as the athletic training and competition they have been a part of. A photo and listing of these students is also available on the website. But I know a few of them, especially from the soccer team, are in the audience. So if you're one of those 19 students who signed your letters of intent, would you please stand so you can be recognized? That's a pretty good percentage. Nice job. The final student recognition tonight is an athletic success to recognize and celebrate. We're joined this evening by head coach Miss Aubrey Anderson, as well as one of her assistant coaches, Mr. Grant Miners, and the Penridge women's soccer team. An overview of some of their accomplishments for this year. Overall, their record was 21 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. They were the champions of the Continental Conference. They were the state finalists, losing only in the state championship game 1-0 to Souderton. This is the 2nd time this decade that the Lady Rams have been in the state championship game. 9 of the young ladies, and remember they only play 11 at a time, were chosen for the all-conference team. Those 9 young ladies were Sarah Williams, Abby Groff, Maddie Anderson, Mary Kate Lavush, Ashley Grober, Lindsay DeHaven, Lauren McIntyre, Molly Groff, and Nicolette Harrison. On top of their athletic accomplishments, they also raised $4,318 for the Grandview Health Foundation's Breast Cancer Support Fund. The team raised the money through t-shirt sales, raffles, and pledges for each goal scored and shutout recorded during the season. I learned during one of the check ceremonies over at Grandview with a couple of the young ladies that Penridge student groups have donated nearly $10,000 to Grandview Health just this year, and nearly $40,000 over the past 5 years combined. I want to congratulate the team on their accomplishments both on the field as well as through their giving back to the community, and to thank them for the examples they've been to other Penridge students and athletes. Ladies and coaches, if you would come forward to be recognized. Nice job. lots of pictures just like this, right? Congratulations. My final student recognition is to announce that we have 4 students who will be representing Penridge in the Bucks County Music Educators Association County Orchestra in March. I want to congratulate senior Nolan Jameson, junior Travis Geisler, and freshmen Caitlin Chun and Julie Kim for their accomplishment in representing Penridge in March. So congratulations, men and women.
Next up is public comment. According to policy 903, we remind everyone of the following. Public comment shall be limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise specified by the board. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and note their name and municipality. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer rather than to individual board members, district employees, or members of the public. A speaker may speak once during each comment period. Please note that these sessions are designated for comments to protect the confidentiality and privacy rights of all members of our community. The board encourages members of the public to direct any comments regarding particular individuals such as students or district employees privately to the superintendent or other appropriate administrators or board members, or to communicate with the board and superintendent privately by sending an email to psdschoolboard@penridge.org. Questions raised and not addressed may be followed up at a later time. Are there any public comments? Okay, seeing none, then we'll move on. Okay, next up is the President's report. I just have one point of pride that I would like to share. I recently got to go into the Sellersville Elementary School and actually get to observe some of the new reading curriculum being implemented, and the passion of our teachers, the passion of our students learning, it was really just exciting to see all of that play out, and to hear too that it was our Sellersville teachers and reading specialists who actually asked to do the reading. They wanted to do the reading, to pilot the reading program this year, even though they were in their first year of rolling out the writing program, which is a lot of extra work, but they were so passionate about it and felt that they went so well together and that it was such a benefit to students that they took on that extra work and wanted to do that for their students. And when you go into those classrooms and you see the teachers and how excited they are, and they're sharing all of the details and you know how much it's helping their students. And between going to Sellersville and going to West Rock Hill, where they were piloting the writing program last year, every single classroom, every single student is engaged and passionate about what they're doing. And that's just so exciting to see, every single student. And you know, it's just amazing, because I think, you know, people think that we're, you know, that we're taking fake students who are you know, in an acting program or something and putting them in a room, because they're all engaged, and it's just amazing to see the excitement and the progress and hear about the stories of the success that these students are having and how much of a difference the programs are making. So thank you to the staff over there. Thank you to Dr. Scheid and Stephanie Washam, who's not here anymore, but who brought this to us. So, you know, thank you, all of you, for everything that you've done. It's really making a big difference in our schools.
You're very welcome, and we are filled with pride about what is going on in the classrooms, and we just expect it to continue with the other schools as we progress through this program. But I would like to take the time to thank all board members for supporting it. Without you, we cannot move forward. As you've done with the STEM program, you are doing with the literacy program, so our thanks to you.
Next up is the superintendent's report.
I just want to add one thing about the reading pilot, just for information for the rest of the audience. We're looking to expand the pilot for next year, and so we're going to increase the number of teachers and the number of classrooms. That will also give us a second year to finalize the new writing program at the elementary level and not give teachers multiple things that are brand new for 1 year. And so then we'll be seeking board approval next year, assuming that the pilot continues to go well for full implementation in the district for the 2021 school year of the new reading program that Ms. Vance Clemens was speaking about. I want to also take an opportunity to introduce, because he's here tonight, our interim reading supervisor. So Mr. Matt Sadowski, if you would stand up and say hello, we appreciate it. Welcome, Matt. No pressure, but Matt's the one who's going to continue to guide the reading pilot going forward, and I'm sure he will do a great job, so thank you. Thank you. So as if there hadn't already been enough wonderful Penridge stories, I have one last story to help you make happy and proud that involve a few of our staff members. Tonight we have with us Mr. Matt Cole, the principal at Penridge North Middle School, and 3 teachers from North, Ms. Lauren Caprioli, Ms. Deanne Rankin, and Mr. Maurice Stokes. Earlier this fall, this team of teachers had the opportunity to compete and win, I might mention, in a Fox 29 show called The Classroom. It's a trivia program where they bring together teachers and students from the same school to compete for the trivia title. But this recognition has nothing to do with the trivia prowess of the North team, although, again, I mentioned they beat the students, but instead what happened after they won. So some of you may have seen this covered on Fox 29, but there was about a short 3-minute piece they did on Fox 29 regarding this, and so board members and cabinet members, you do have it as a link. I'll just remind you to make sure that your computers are silenced so that you can watch the video while Mr. Ferry plays it for the audience to be able to see.
Grab a tissue while you're at it, by the way. Some local teachers competing on Fox 29's new game show, The Classroom, realized some of their colleagues could use the prize money a lot more than them. And so with the exchange of $500 came new friendships and important life lessons, for goodness sake. Here's Bill Henderson.
The theme song of The Classroom says, after a hard-fought victory, the teachers at Penridge North Middle School thought that they could do more than just tell a friend. They could support or even make a new friend. $500 your team captain, where's that going? Initially, we had told Rick Sherman at the show that we were going to be getting picnic tables for the front of our school.
We heard that the one school, they were looking for their winners to buy everyday school supplies. And we were just like, wow.
In the classroom, winners get prize money to be spent at their school. But as the Penridge team sat in the audience and heard from Barry Elementary School, their principal just believed that their winnings could be better used.
That's when I just turned to Jen and I said, hey, those who might, if we just donate our check to them, as much as I like our patio furniture, that'd be nice, but I think they'd benefit more than we would.
Viewers see the fun and celebration, but don't always see that schools from across the area are in the crowd cheering for each other. And an unexpected benefit is that cheering section is beginning to build relationships.
It seemed like they genuinely needed those things to help their kids and help their school grow.
And it's not just handing over a check. The two schools are working on establishing ongoing interaction that will allow students to visit and experience each other's school day.
I think it's important to me and our school and our kids mostly to see what different the kids are like. They have in different school situations.
Now, quick side note, while at Penridge, I I ran into one of the student contestants who you may remember from a moment of stage fright that led to a bit of an awkward exchange.
The first American to step foot on the moon. Jessica.
George Washington.
And then some teammates and friends.
A lot of Georgies, George, a lot of nicknames.
George Washington. I promised her that I'd clear up the confusion. You knew the
I
answer.
knew the answer. I knew the answer. Yes.
It's like fake news.
It's fake news.
An embarrassment aside, she was happy she played and happy at her school's future relationships.
I think it's very important to give to the people that aren't as fortunate as us.
So in the end, a friendly trivia competition turned into new friendships formed, and everyone thinks that that's the right answer, for goodness sake. I'm Bill Anderson.
Is that cool or what? Let's say thank you. Mr. Cole, Ms. Caprioli, Ms. Rankin, and Mr. Stokes, thank you so much for the example that you gave, for showing our students in the Penridge community about what is truly important. I look forward to highlighting the partnerships in the future that you have begun with John Barry Elementary School. Would you come forward and be recognized by the crowd? Thank you.